This session, I want to invite Mike to take the floor. On the first, I'm going to thank him for the sessions he has put together for us. I know I found them quite beneficial, very informative as well. But I'll say no more. I think most of us know your mates and we know your business is about. All the best to you, mate, on that one.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
How long have I got for?
On this one, I've allowed you for about half an hour if you need it, mate.
Oh my goodness. Excellent.
If you need that much.
Well, we probably won't do half an hour, but we'll keep it fun and interesting. I've been doing a series on making a better you, making a better business you. And I told you right at the very beginning that my process was VAR, which was visualise, affirm, verbalise and assume the role. We did visualisation, and what I sent you is that I want you to create mental movies and to see yourself doing what's coming next and to see it going really well. I don't know whether or not that's something that you can do. Obviously with coaching and mentoring that becomes easier. If you've got an idea of what you're trying to create, a picture in your mind, it makes it a lot easier to jump into that picture and to make it your reality. So it goes from the invisible into the visible, which is quite a metaphysical concept. But everything in this room was an idea in somebody's mind before it was created. That coffee pot, that projector, the design of that award. Somebody had the idea, then they wrote it down on a piece of paper, and then they sent it to somebody to make it. So you've got to think in terms of your ideas, get them written down. What does it look like? What's it sound like? What's it smell like? What's it feel like? What's it taste like? And also, what's it look like, sound like, feel like, taste like to your customers? Talk about that a little bit later. So that's the visualisation process, and if you're struggling with visualisation, I can help you with that. But you can go on YouTube, there's lots of instruction courses that you can play for free on visualisation. And the way that you see yourself and the way that your clients see you and the way that you see your business and they see your business is massively important. You've got to have visual impact, which is why we've talked about the banners. Because people get a feel, the minute they come in, and people get a feel of you the minute that they meet you. It's very, very important that you look at your image and what you're portraying, because what you think you are might not be what you're giving off. Affirmation are these words that are in your head and the words that come out of your mouth. And the statements that you make portray, convey, communicate what you are. And it's not what you think you're saying, it's what's understood. Communication is not what you say, it's what's understood. So you've got to be very careful with your vocabulary, you've got to be very clear with the message that you're conveying. And the first person that's listening is you. Everything that you say, you become. Every word that comes out of your mouth dictates your next action. So sentences that are followed by the word I become a self-hypnotic command to what your next action is. It starts with a thought, it creates that thought, which is psychology, creates a movement of the thought, which is physiology. Your physiology, whether you're interested or bored with what I'm saying now, is dictated by the judgments that you're making, that voice in your head saying, this isn't for me, this guy's talking rubbish, this is boring. And the minute you say this is boring, your subconscious mind is listening and it changes the chemistry in your body. And that's exactly what happens when you're talking to yourself or when you're talking to your clients. Are you exciting them or are you boring them? You've got to listen to your own voice. You've got to witness your own voice. You've got to witness yourself and be very, very aware that what you say massively impacts the way you feel and massively impacts the way that you make your clients' customers feel. So you've got to be that person that is always motivating yourself and motivating your clients. And in the word motivating is the word motor. You've got to be the driving force for yourself and the driving force for them, and it comes through the things that you say, because that's the only thing that they're listening to. So do you moan and complain in your head, and do you moan and complain to your clients? Paul said something that's very, very interesting this morning. He said that he'd actually been thinking negatively. Well, that's good that you witnessed that, because how often have you been negative but you didn't realise that's what you are? Self-awareness is the starting point for self-mastery. And if I've just made you aware of what you think, I'm happy. And then you start to change the way you think. That's the next step. Just being aware that you're moaning and complaining, because some people don't know. They don't know that they're always negative. They don't know that they're always, you know, you go up to them and they're always moaning. They're always telling you about the problems. Are you that person that always talks about your problems to your clients? Do you meet them in the morning and tell them how difficult today's going to be? Is the first thing that you go, oh, I have to think about that, you know, that sounds a bit complicated to me? Or do you say, the minute they give you a job, can't wait to get involved in this. This sounds excellent. This is really exciting me now. And do you think that would have an impact on the way that you're received if you went in with that enthusiasm? Damn right. So if you're enthusiastic, that's conveyed. That's not just heard, it's felt, it vibrates. So this is the person that I feel that you've got to be. You've got to be that person that shifts people, but you shift yourself first. So that awareness comes from witnessing your thoughts, and then what actually happens is, what do you do with those thoughts? That's the point. You can know that you're angry, pissed off, jealous, guilty, annoyed, frustrated, but don't do it. Learn not to do it. Learn not to do annoyed. Be annoyed maybe, but don't do it. And the minute you stop doing it, it cuts off the emotion, which is the movement of the thought. Emotion is emotion, energy in motion. And if there's no energy to the action, it dies. And first of all, you witness your thoughts, stop reacting to them, and eventually those thoughts won't come up. Start acting upon positive thoughts. Start putting action into the good stuff and not the negative stuff. And that massively changes your productivity for the day, your effectiveness, and your effect. See, thoughts are causes. Thoughts are causes, but the effects are your behaviours. And if you shift your thoughts or don't act upon the thoughts that don't serve you, your day will be totally different. I'll say that again, that thoughts are causes, and effects are your behaviours, and actually they're the circumstances of your life. So if you want to know how mentally healthy you've been, or how mentally and emotionally fit you've been in the past, how good was your decisions, how good was your mental and emotional state, what's your life like now? Because your life right now is the circumstances of your life based on all the decisions that you've made in the past. All your past thinking, all your past decisions, all your past actions have given you what you've got now. So are you happy with what you've got now in your life or business? Or not? And if you're not, take responsibility for it. It's your fault. It's not your parents, it's not your teachers, it's not whether you were born rich or poor, whether you've got a disability or you're fully able. It's none of that. It's what you're doing with it. I always say to my clients, listen to them and say, well, what are you going to do with that? Give them some ideas, but it's your responsibility. You are responsible. Knowing now that your thoughts and decisions from the past have created your now is really powerful, because whatever you decide now dictates what you create in the future. So if you're not happy with your life or business, you can change it by making some good decisions today. Literally now, here in this meeting, you can reinvent yourself, whatever you are, whatever you think you are. And I will tell you that what you think you are isn't what your clients think you are. What you think you are isn't what your kids think you are. I think I'm 18. When I go out, I still think I'm an 18-year-old lad. I know I'm not, but I think I am, so that works for me. I don't know if it works for my kids. I'm probably totally embarrassed them half the time. But that enthusiasm comes through everything, because that's my belief system. What's your belief system? Does your belief system work for you? Does it work for your business? Or do you think you're dead cool, but your clients think you're a prat? Do you think that you're dead vogue, but you're actually out of date, you're a dinosaur? Take a good objective look at yourself. Good idea to do is to put a CCTV camera in your house, or video yourself, as I'm doing at the moment. So watch myself to see if what I'm doing is what I think I'm doing. How does this look to you? I don't know, but I will know later, because I'm going to watch myself, and I'm going to put it on YouTube as well, and you know that to do. Because it works. And the more people that see me and hear me, the more that vibrates into the universe, the world, North Wales or whatever, Great Britain, and I get people ringing me and making bookings. I had a sell-out at the Departure Lounge on Wednesday night. I'm here this morning, and this evening I'm in Holywell. So I think something that I'm saying is working for some people, and it can work for you once you've made a decision that you want it to. Work on yourself. So what do you want to create between now and Christmas, and what do you want for yourself in 2014? So when I asked you to go through a process, I picked up on the point of you saying about negative thoughts. Negative thoughts, if you're aware of it, well done. It's what you do with those negative thoughts. Don't allow them to grow into negative actions. Notice the movement of energy in your body with that negative thought, that emotion, that movement, and then get control around that. If you have trouble getting control around that, talk to me. But you can get control of it yourself without talking to me by just seeing what you're creating with a frown on your face, with a scowl on your face, with a complaining attitude, with a moaning voice. that doesn't stimulate anything in yourself, and it doesn't motivate your clients to engage with you. If you're that positive or neutral person, you're far more pleasant to be around, and people will employ you. So the other thing that's picked up on is profitability. We talked about the bottom line being profitability. I totally disagree. I completely, utterly disagree with that. I'm not here for the money. I might be in a fortunate position. But if you're not happy, your bank balance is not going to make you happy. Be happy now, and be happier when you've got money in your bank. Because if you're waiting to be rich, at what point do you say, I've got enough? I've got people who come to my house for sessions in all sorts of, M5s, M6s, Aston Martins. I go and can work with celebrities and sports people who could eat me for breakfast financially. Are they happy? No, they're not. Not always. It doesn't, not a criticism of your comment, but I think we've got to look at why we're in business. What's your passion? If you're passionate and you're happy, you will make money. If you convey that, if you're chasing money, it looks like you're chasing money, in my opinion. And if your bottom line is just about the money, I don't think that lends yourself to offering good service and quality. And it won't make you happy, because what's your bottom line on how much money you want to make? I find that I'm rich in many other ways, and it's not in bank balance. So I just wanted to say that. So let me just hand some of these out for you. These are the areas, in my opinion, that you want to audit your life. And an audit comes from the word audition. An audition is an audit. Do you want to take one and pass them on? Okay. So if you were auditioning now for your life, do you know the role that you're playing at the moment? Are you the star in your own lifetime? And are you producing it really well? Are you directing it? What would you edit? If this was a dress rehearsal, what would you change? Because you can, today. You can rewrite the script for your life and your business. When we stand up in our presentations in the morning, what we actually do is we say what we're looking for, don't we? And we say what we are. Is it same old, same old? Are you in a rut with what you've always said? You know the elevator pitch? Shift it a bit. Out there you've got people with multiple personalities. I don't mean the schizo. What I mean is you've got people who are... Some people are kinesthetic, touchy-feely. They want a plumber because they want the bathroom to look nice. And they want the latest. Other people want a plumber because they've got a leak and they don't care what it looks like. Some people want it because it's cheap. Some people want to get a plumber who's got a fancy van because it looks good on their drive in the neighbourhood where they live. Some people don't care what you turn up in. Do you sell to those individual needs, or do you just say the same thing to everybody? I've got people who come to me because they want to be on the ball in their life. They want to be productive and efficient. I get other people who like the relaxation. I get other people that like the mind, body, spirit stuff. I like other people who are completely analytical and want to understand about the psychology. Do you think one advert would suit all those people? No, it doesn't.
One advert.
Do you think one advert would suit all that multitude of people that are out there?
No.
It doesn't. Thank you, James. Correct answer.
You got a book? Yes,
Look at what you're selling, okay, and that's coming from you. But you're selling 360-degree peripheral awareness around you. And around you are people with all sorts of styles, all sorts of attitudes, all sorts of triggers. And you've got to sell to all those sorts of people, in my opinion. So you've got to look outside the box. So ask people. The best person to tell you what you should be saying is the people in this room, in my opinion. Ask your friends and family. Ask people who know nothing about your business, because sometimes you're too close to it. You're selling to people. You've always got a customer, whether you've got a product or a service. Talk to your customers. And sell the sizzle. You've heard that one before. Sell the thing that motivates it. So these are the areas, in my opinion, where you need to do a life audit. The first one on the top of the list is living environments, e.g. house and geographical area. So the question is, if you look over the other side of the page there, I'm asking you 3 questions. It's very, very, very simple. And in my opinion, you get 3 pieces of paper. Or you can do it on here. But if you only got 10 things that you want to have in your life, and 10 things that you want to be in your life, and 10 things that you want to do, I won't be negative, but I think you're very sad. you probably want hundreds of things. So you want hundreds of pieces of paper. And if you adopt this process for the rest of your life, and I'll tell you how you do that in a moment, this will put you on purpose. And I want you to live on purpose. I want you to live by the mental law of control and not by accident. Because a lot of people don't know what they're doing until something happens to them. The world comes at them, they become reactive to what comes at them. So if the phone rings, they work. If something's in their diary that somebody's given them, like we all know that we're going to play bowling on the 25th of October, what would you be doing on the 25th of October if Paul didn't tell you were doing bowling? What are you doing tonight? Or is it dictated by how good the television is and what the kids are doing? Or maybe if the phone rings, you're going to be active. Yeah? Are you reacting to what comes at you, or are you acting and making it happen? The world should come from you, not at you. You've got to act and not react. And it's becoming this actor. It's reinventing yourself. What is the character that you're trying to create in your life and business? So these questions, this is the sheet I give all my clients, session 1, correct? And it's, what do I want to have in my life? And have can be an attitude, a thing, a skill, a mindset. You certainly know what you don't want to have. So what you do is, if you know what you don't want more of, contrast is, write down what you want more of. Write it down, everything. I want to have peace of mind. I want to have financial freedom. I want to have more clients. I want to have more me time, more family time. I want to have a new car. I want a new haircut. I want some new shoes. It can be anything trivial. Get some coffee on the way home. Write it down. If you know what you want to have, you know what to do next. Get it written down. Lots of electronic ways of writing things down, but I actually believe in pen and paper. Because you can emotionalise it on a pen and paper. You actually, when you write something down with the pen and paper, in my opinion, when you write it down, it's, I want to have a new car. And you're listening to yourself. So you're visually programming it, because you see it on the paper. You're listening to yourself, so it's what they call audio programming. And you're also writing it. And that becomes what they call kinesthetic programming, because you can feel yourself. And if I ask people with a bulletin point, what's stressing you? Have you got divorced? And they go, yes. Are you happy at home? No. Have you lost your job? Yes. And you can see them, they get really into it. And they can feel that emotion as they write these things down. So get things written down. What do you want to have? A thing, an object, a skill set, an attitude. What do you want to be? Now the word be is an abbreviation of the word become. What do you want to become? What do you want your business to become? What do you want your family to become? What do you want to be? How do you want to be? Who do you want to be with? And to be those things, what do you need to have? Goes back to the first question. So a lot of these things will overlap. It's a brainstorming session for yourself that puts you on purpose so that you can invent, what do I need to have by the end of the year? What do I want to be by the end of the year? Where do you want to be by the end of the year? And also, the third question, what do I want to do in my life? So to do certain things, you've got to have certain things, and you've got to be certain things. So if you want to, you know, I don't know, it's not called your registration anymore, what's it called?
Gas safe.
Yeah, okay, so if you need gas safe certification, you need to do the exam. So I need to be informed. I need to have certain things. I've got a workshop tonight and I've got my CDs. I had to do my CDs. I had to have my CDs. I've got to go tonight and I've got to be on time. What are you doing this weekend? What do you need to have? What do you need to be? What do you need to do? Everything is have, be and do. But if you don't understand that, then you're living by accident. Live by control. Act and don't react. The minute you live by control, you're not a victim. You're a victim. You're in control and you start to feel good in these areas of your life. So family, living environment, personal relationships, including hobbies and outside activities, working career, current job, training requirements, interests and future aspirations, finances, health, inner soul, sense of purpose, life and meaning, which is where I think is the most important one, which is where your riches are, in the loves of your life, the joys that you have, the fun that you have, what you're creating as a legacy for you. Not how much money you've got in the bank. I work with people end of life on a program called Pathways. And when I go into hospices and people come to me or I go to them, they're not talking about the bank balances and the yachts and the 52-inch plasma TVs. They're talking about the kids and the anniversaries and the birthdays, and they won't be here next Christmas. That's what's important. And I think what we're trying to do as business is create a nice life. And you can have a nice life without a lot of money, or you can have a lot of money and not have a nice life. So I'm not judging that, but you judge that and make some sense around that. Really make some sense for yourself around that. So you write these things down so that you know you're on purpose. And then what you do by that What I would also suggest that you do, in my opinion, is you ask that question of your clients and your customers. What does my customer or my client or the person that I'm offering a service to, what do they want to have from me? Or what do they want to have that I can provide for them? What do they want to be? And what can I give them to help them be that? So that's helping people be successful, hopefully. He's producing banners and promotions. He's not selling banners, he's selling success. Isn't he? If he gets on board selling success and meets people's needs, hits deadlines, so that when they want things, they've got things. When they want to be things, he helps them be that person. He creates, if you like, an image for that person. When they want to do things, he helps them do things. With gardening as well, with cars. He's not just fixing cars, he's keeping people on the road. You're giving people financial security. You're housing people. He's not just letting. He's accommodating people. He's giving them accommodation. He's helping them with their lifestyle. So what do you do for people? What are you helping them have, be and do? Think about that for yourself and then project it onto your client and sell them. I can help you have that. I can help you be that. I can help you do that. My service is what that's all about. Let me help you. You've got to foresee what they want because you understand what it means for yourself. And then what you do is, when you've actually done this, it's very, very easy to make decisions then, because you're not living by accident, you're living by control. So if this is you here, and you've got a decision, if you've got your have, be's and do's written here, so these are all the things that you want to have today, these are all the things that you want to do today, and these are all the things that you want to be today. And I would make a list of things that you want to have, be and do in all those areas of your life. Short-term goal list, a week. A week. Know what you want to have, be and do by the end of the week. Start on a Sunday, if that's your day off, and plan your week ahead. What do I need to have this week? What do I need to be this week? What do I need to do? Make a list. And then review it at the end of the week and see what you've achieved. And what you haven't achieved, you move it forward. It's an ongoing, rolling, sort of evolving list for yourself and your business. What does my business need to have this week? Well, we know that Dragons needs a new projector, so let's see if we do it. Because a lot of people say things and it never happens. I've heard ideas go around the room in here and they haven't been adopted. Brilliant, genius ideas, and we haven't done it. You've got to take, you can't just know it, you've got to actually do it. You've got to take purposeful action. And a lot of these things we forget. If you write them down, you won't forget. And if you review them, it reminds you that you've forgotten, then you can put it forward and get it done. So what you do is you have a short-term goal is a week, a medium-term goal is a month, and in my opinion, a long-term goal is about 3 months. It's ever evolving, but your mind can conceive and perceive something that's about 13 weeks. After that, it drops off. So you can program something, and it sets up a muscle memory, and it excites your nervous system for about 13 weeks. So actually, your business is interesting to people for about 13 weeks. And then you reinvent yourself, because you've heard it, and you've seen it, and if you haven't attracted it, change your message. You can be exactly the same, but just change what you say, change the image. So here we go, we're going to finish on this. Your have, be and do list works like this. If you know what you want to have, be and do, you make your decisions from here. This is you making a decision. And let's say on here you wanted to lose weight. So here's a decision. Do I have 2 pieces of toast or none? Do we have a cream cake with me lenses or none? It's a no-brainer, isn't it? If you want to lose weight, and you know you want to lose weight, and you've looked every morning on your have, been, do list that I want to lose weight, it's reminded you to say no to the cream cake or the toast with your breakfast. And that's really easy, and you're not a victim to not having the cream cake, because you're on purpose, and it excites you that you're actually sticking to your goals. And you know why you're doing it, because you've just looked in the morning. So what you do, you say no to the cream cake, no to the toast, and it takes you towards your goals. If you actually say yes to the cream cake, it takes you away from your goals. If you've said yes to the cream cake, there you are. If you said no, there you are. And now you've got a new decision. And tonight somebody says, do you want to come out playing bowling? Do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to play five-a-side? Do you want to walk the dog? Or do you want to stay and watch Coronation Street? And again, if you're here and you're cake and then you stay and watch Coronation Street, you don't get any exercise, you're going further away from the goal. And you're never going to get there, are you? If you were here and you actually said, well actually yes, I will have a walk, I'll record Coronation Street and watch it later, you get back to here, so you're back to balance. If you actually go out for the walk as well as refuse to cream cake, you're actually nearest to the goals. And the kicker here is if you do more things that move you towards your goals and less things that move you away from your goals, you're going to get them, aren't you? And it's up to you how much discipline and determination you've got. So you witness yourself and you watch yourself and you see if your actions are consistent with the things that you say you really want to have, be and do for yourself and your business. So the question is, do you really want them? Do you really, really, really want them, or are you settling? And if you're settling, don't moan. But I get really excited about reinventing yourself, using have, be and do, and watching your actions and witnessing your thinking, and then seeing yourself as other people see you, and saying to yourself, is this the life that I want? Because if it isn't, you are responsible. And you can shift. And if you want help shifting, give me a ring because it's what to do. And I'll help you freely. I really will. I'll help you freely. If you have a session, I'll charge you. But I'll tell anybody and you've found that I do, and that's what to do. So have a look at this, get serious about it, and you can really reinvent yourself. Reinvent the way that you are with your family, the way that you are with your business, the way you are with your mates. And if you don't know what you want, look at somebody who's got what you want, and write down what they've got. If you're not very good at public speaking, and you want to be, say, well, I'd like to be like Mike Garner, I'd like to be like Paul, who can stand up and say anything at any time, or Steve, who does presentations, or anybody in the room who does presentations. Yeah? I want to be like that. And then what have they got? What have they got that I've not got? What do they do that I don't do? Because NLP is about modelling on somebody else. If somebody's rich, and you want to be rich, you can be rich if you do what they've done. If you want to be successful, what have they done to be successful? If you do what they've done, you can be successful. I can't bake a cake. If somebody can bake a cake, if I get the recipe, I can bake that cake. So there's nothing that you can't do if you get the information. There's lots of information out there, and I just encourage you to be more, have more, and do far more, because you're unlimited, and you're only limited by your self-limiting belief. So when you're right, don't be limited. Lift the lid off your limitedness, and write down what you really, really want to have, what you really, really want to be, what you really, really want to do. Imagine you've won the lottery. Imagine that when you write these down that you've got a wizard and you can ask for anything. Because you can. And you're not limited by your education, your age, your sex, your geographical location or anything. You can actually do, be and have anything. Lots of millionaires, if you want to be a millionaire, that have come out of little villages in Wales. Yeah? I'll leave you there. Thanks very much.